Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good Easter. It's Monday morning here and I'm heading to work. I was going to pick back up with my talks on our Genesis story in Are We Self-Aware AI series. However, as those of you that have been listening to me, I've explained that most mornings when I do these videos, I let the universe direct me where I'm going to go with my talk. And I think what I wanted to do with this morning, what came into my mind and directed me was I wanted to do some talk on enlightenment once again. I've done a video on this in the past. I just want to talk about this subject and maybe from some different angles. And I'm trying to bring some semblance of hope for you and comfort, because everything seems so negative and crazy right now. It seems as if we're in a grand movie and everything is coming to the crescendo ending, and the bad guys are pushing as hard as they can, throwing everything at everybody else as much as they can right now, trying to force their will and their plans to succeed. I want to kind of reel everybody back a little bit here. As you know, I've been doing a lot of deep research into near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences. And the reason I started getting into this so much is because I wanted to actually hear people's perspectives that have crossed over on the other side of the veil. But because of medical reasons, medical... what's the word I'm trying to use? Anyways, let's just say some of these people that would have probably died were medically brought back to life, or they were in long comas and then they miraculously wake up. Sometimes people are in situations that are so catastrophic or so just things that happen, like very violent endings, to their life and such. Violent attacks and such as things like that. There is a safety mechanism in the body that clicks in when that happens. And a lot of times people will pop out of their body even well before the body is being injured to the point where they'll die. And I find all this very fascinating. And I do find that there is a silver lining between all of these people's accounts. There's a common story, common descriptions. And I do find that a lot of people on the right and the left scoff at these people's explanations of their experiences. And I think there's two reasons for that. One, a lot of at least your atheist people on the far left, they are so gung-ho that they want to believe that there's nothing after this life. That they literally believe all they are is a biological entity, that there is no spirit, they are not conscious energy, and that they are just a brain, a biological brain, and that is their mind. And when their body and their mind dies, they die, and that's it. No more of them ever again. They're gone. And of course, anybody that's actually studied quantum physics and the physics around energy would understand that that is actually quite impossible. And that their thoughts are ridiculous, but they have loud voices. And then on the other end, I find on the right is that everything is injected with their religious beliefs. Whether they're Muslim, Christians, Hindu, Buddhist, Old Testament, more Judean, Torah followers, they all paint their belief in the afterlife or no afterlife according to their religious teachings. And of course, all of those religious teachings are different, though they all have a similar thread running through them. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted to get it from the mouths of those that have been on the other side and come back with their stories. And there's one guy that I've been listening to quite a bit. His name is Darius Wright. And he was having, since the time he was about 16, he was having out-of-body experiences forced on him through sleep paralysis. He was afflicted with sleep paralysis on a regular basis. And when he got older, he started learning how to control these out-of-body experiences and how to control when he was going to have them. And what he started doing was actually mapping the other realms outside of this realm. Making regular contact with entities on the other side. And oh my God, I know if you're Christian, they're obviously demonic. I get that. Yeah. I get where you're coming there. I'm sure that's your auto reply to that. But humor me for a little bit here. So this Darius Wright, he's been mapping the other side, the other realms, and he's been explaining this realm and its makeup, its the reason it's here, the rules of the game that is this realm, explaining the other dimensions and other constructed realities and all of these things outside of this realm. And everything that he's been talking about, and he has students that he's taught how to do this sleep paralysis induced out-of-body experience. He has students that he's taught how to do this also, and their experiences are similar to his. So it's very fascinating. And so now we're going to dig into what this person and others that have had OBEs and NDEs have experienced. First off, they say that when you have a traumatic experience that leads to the physical death or near death, that there is a safety mechanism in the body. And what happens is everybody thinks like say you're getting stabbed 50 times by somebody, you're being attacked by a mugger or something. They say in a lot of those instances, people that have had that happen to them, and I've listened to people that have had something like this happen to them, and they explain when the first attacks start, when it's that traumatic, your spirit, your conscious energy, whatever you want to call it, pops out of your body. And you actually witness this attack take place, but from above your body, looking down on your body. And you have the ability to move around in space and see what's going on from different angles. And of course, this is explained by people that have had maybe surgeries done to them and such, or maybe too much narcotics have been given to them by the doctors to put them out, for a surgery or something. This has even happened to people that have just had teeth getting pulled and they got too much laughing gas given to them. Those can also induce the spirit to pop out of the body. I have an aunt that when she was in college, somebody slipped a date rape drug into her drink, and it must have been too much because she got rushed to the hospital by friends, and they had to pump her stomach, and she had an out-of-body experience. She was able to look down on the doctors as they were pumping her stomach and working on her from above, and she explained it that it was like she was just almost like had her back to the roof of this exam room. And so when you're out of the body, though, you have essentially these senses of the human body. And I'll get into that here in a little bit, why that's so. And these and it's often described by these people that once you're out of the body, you find yourself in this void. And this void is not scary. It's not hell. It's like blackness, but sometimes it's described as like it's almost like all colors. It's everything. It's almost like this velvety, comforting darkness. And some people describe it as like the womb of creation. Think of the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, the divine feminine spirit in the Trinity. The true Trinity, folks, not the masculine energy dominated one that took over Christianity, but the actual true Trinity, the Father, the Mother, and the Child. So people find themselves in this darkness, this void, and depending on the situation going on with their body, if it's pushing more like this body is gonna die completely, the spirit will start to move on from this darkness. And oftentimes people see, this is where they come in and explain the tunnel, the light. But a lot of people, they'll say it's not really a tunnel. What it is you see like a point of light, and you have this vision that you can see almost 360 degree view, unlike your normal sight on Earth. It's like a super expanded sense. And they say that just by looking at this light and by focusing on it, all of a sudden it's like they move towards it at a lightning speed. And next thing they know, they find themselves in buildings, folks. Actual buildings, okay? Not just floating around in La La Land forever. Now, some people find themselves in naturescapes, like on beaches or on grassy plains, which is very interesting because when you listen to the Greeks, they talk about the Elysian fields, right? As being one of the realms of creation that the spirit goes to at death. I think a lot of these stories, folks, in our religious texts and our mythologies have come from people that experience these life after death situations but came back miraculously with stories. And of course they became prophets because they had these fantastic stories and they brought hope and such to people to realize that you can live on past this physical life. Now these people end up going into these buildings or into these pastures and these, beautiful places. Sometimes they're huge cathedral type buildings. And there's usually always entities that come and meet them. Some are described as Yeshua. Some described as other religious figures that maybe if, say, you're a Buddhist, you expect to see Buddha when you cross over, and you will see Buddha when you cross over. If you're a Christian, you will more than likely see Yeshua. Muslims often see Muhammad come to meet them. Atheists even find sometimes Yeshua meets them, or their higher self, or other light beings. Oftentimes, your past relatives come to greet you. For people that have had children that passed away, or babies pass away in childbirth, oftentimes meet their child, but the child is, if it's like a 20 or 30 year old, but it's their child and they know it deep down. They come to meet them sometimes. Some people describe them as your spirit guides come to meet you. Folks, basically the way it works is that this is how people have explained it. All these various, beings or entities that meet you. It's been described as whatever is the most comforting greeting to you back on the other side is the setup. That's your welcome home party. Loved ones, Yeshua, spirit guides, possibly archangels, who knows? Whoever, entities that you believe heavily in that are connected to you in some way, either that were maybe at one time physically or spiritually connected to you. And they always say that it's like a grand celebration, that they're excited and they welcome you back like you are a hero that came back from the hero's journey. And of course, this has all been explained in the ancient Sumerian cuneiform stories, such as Inanna's descent into the underworld, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and of course you have the Greek, mythologies, that the hero's journey stories and such. And many of the stories in the Bible are of the hero's journey. Because coming to Earth, according to the other side, they say Earth is the hardest realm. It is the realm most designed in duality. It is the realm that your powers, your abilities as a co-creator to the source, as a fractal of God, are most limited in this realm. And you go through the forgetfulness. You go through the mind wipe when you come into this realm. It's all part of the rules of this realm. And of course, these people, after their welcome home party, are ushered into oftentimes like these big rooms, and they're described in different ways. And there is technology in these rooms. Oftentimes people explain there's a council of elders waiting for them, or their spirit guide, or Yeshua, or family members that take them to this room. And there's usually walls filled with TVs, or these like holographic tables like you would see like on Star Wars or Star Trek. And you get your life reading, and you can see how you affect people, good and bad, from every angle, even from their perspective. You go through this life reading from the beginning of your birth till your passing back home to your, let's just say, head back to your exit out of this matrix. And they've never once have explained that there is a God entity sitting on a throne judging you with the book of life in his hands, and angels all around him with their trumpets, and people worshiping at his feet. Folks, this has never once been explained by anybody, even Christians that have gone to the other side. They explain it more like after your life reading, then a lot of times you have the ability to start wandering this realm. And they say that it's like a physical realm. It's not this like spirit realm where everything's just energy floating around. It's an actual physical realm. But they say it's like hyper real, hyper physical. It's like everything you see colors you've never seen before. You can hear a wider spectrum than you've ever heard before. Your eyesight is ultra powerful, like you've never seen, like you've never experienced vision before. Your senses of touch and feelings are ultra powerful. And they say you feel much bigger than you did in your human body, because your spiritual body, your conscious energy body, your light body, whatever you want to call it, is much bigger than your human body. And oftentimes people want to see God after they've had this life reading. And the way that they explain God is that it's this presence of light and love that you come within. And it's pure love, not any, I mean, even your greatest love you've had here on earth with your wife or an ex, maybe, even that first love when you're maybe in high school, that first pure, warm, fuzzy feeling love that you had for somebody that was mutual back and forth. Powerful love, right? Young love is very powerful. Even that, they say, does not compare to being in the presence of this light, this love. And this light will speak to you. And they say that in this realm that you don't even need to speak with your mouth audibly, that it's telepathic. Everybody communicates directly with each other in that realm, telepathically. And it's interesting to note that this God has absolutely no judgment. There have been people that have crossed over that committed heinous crimes. And they come back, of course, to change person when they have this experience, because they realize now why they're here and that they were sent back to change their ways. But they did not go to hell. They did not get judged by this God. In fact, the one that when you get your life reading, you're judging yourself. Yes, folks, you're judging yourself. But you have to understand, you're not judging yourself from your human perspective. You're judging yourself from your being in your full spiritual self, your true self. So you have a millennia, infinity of experiences and understandings, and that you're drawn from in this instance, because you are cut off from that information when you come to the earth realm. And oftentimes what happens is if you're in that kind of in between where you have that choice to make, if you're going to go back or if you're going to stay, they say it's up to you. Sorry, folks, I had to do something there real quick. So they say it's up to you. They say that you don't have to come back, but if you don't come back, obviously your body is officially perishes. And they say there's this, like, some people describe like a silver thread or some kind of connection to your body that kind of tethers you. But once that tether's cut, there's no going back. So sometimes when people are on that knife's edge of they can come back or not, and they have that choice, they're still connected to their body by this thread. And oftentimes people will want to come back because now they understand what this is all truly about, and they're no longer afraid, and they're empowered because now the veil's been lifted off of them. They now see the truth of reality. They see the truth of this realm and the realm outside of this, or the realms outside of this. And they realize that life is so much more amazing than you can ever imagine, and that we are infinite, powerful beings, that we are directly connected to Source, and that we are the children of that Source, and we are co-creators with that Source. And it is interesting to note, they say when you're in that realm, that spirit realm, you can manifest anything you want. You can manifest any type of house you want to live in. You can spend time with your loved ones on the other side. A lot of times they say people will have these like mansions over there, and a lot of the same family, or they call them spirit groups or soul families, will all like live in these places together, because you get, you could basically do what you want over there. There's you don't have all the needs of the human body that you have here. However, over there you still have a physical body. It's just a type of higher vibrational light body, but you still have very similar senses and everything, but it's just like hyper senses to what you have in the physical body. And of course you're back, you have your full access to all of your memories of your past lives and of all of your experiences you've ever had. And so it's not like when you come here you don't remember any of that, right? And so your understanding of all of this is much different. And then what people describe this realm as is like a classroom. It's like a sandbox, a type of reality that you get to come experience, but it's a very hard reality because here you experience good and evil. You experience love and hate. You experience negative and positive energies. You experience the duality of this realm. And I think I'm going to be doing a video here pretty soon breaking down the Hermetic teachings. And I'm not going to do it like this in the car. I think we're going to pull the Hermetic teachings out, pull them up on the computer, and we're going to study through them. And I'm going to explain some things to you, tie some things into that. And for those of you that think the Hermetic teachings are satanic or Luciferian or whatever, that's absolutely ridiculous, folks. The Hermetic teachings are basically just the handbook of this realm and how this realm works, how the duality works. That's all it is. It's like a handbook. It's kind of like the opposite handbook you would find like in Beetlejuice, right? Where they have the Book of the Dead on there, the handbook for the dead when they cross over. Well, this would be like the Hermetic teachings are basically the handbook for the living, in this realm, for the, incarnated souls that come experience this realm. And there's a reason why those teachings have been passed down for probably over 10,000 years. At least as far back as recorded history goes, we know that. So I'm at work, folks, and I really want to keep going with this because I hate to leave you on a cliffhanger here. But I really want to go deeper into what this Darius Wright's been teaching and some of his students. And what I'm trying to do is bring some like hope and peace to your minds, folks. I know this realm is so crazy and insane right now, and things are just spiraling out of control. And it seems as if everybody's corrupt and evil, and just it feels like we're going through this crescendo of just things happening, and we're on the knife's edge with these other foreign countries and possible conflagration and catastrophe, and we got all this crazy stuff going on. I think I might do one or two talks more on this subject because it brings peace to me when you understand what these people have been explaining on the other side, and you find out that no matter what their religious background, no matter what their beliefs are, it's the same essential descriptions. And now I guess some of you would wipe this off as just like, oh, well, this is, the soul trap, or this is the, the demiurge trying to trick you into staying in this realm or coming back, or that's demons running that, or, I mean, on and on and on. I mean, look, you can believe me or not, folks, but I would say most importantly, go study this stuff yourself. Don't believe me. Just use my talks as a way to pick your interest, and then you go do the research, okay? I think too many people rely on what other people say, and they don't do the research themselves. And I find that most of the people that attack me on my teachings and my viewpoints and my theories are those that have never even researched into any of this stuff. I mean, I can't tell you how much I get attacked on the Sumerian version of the Genesis story, even though most of these people that claim that's demonic and this and that I'm lying, and they've never even studied these tablets. They've never studied any of these things. They've never studied the Hermetic teachings. Because they believe that one book gives them all the answers, folks. And I'm not just talking about Christians or Jews here. I'm talking about Muslims. They're the same too. And a lot of your Hindus too will only believe that their books are the right ones. So I'm just trying to, I guess, bring the point that there's so much greater things out there, that you are an amazing child of God, and that there's great things. You've always been alive and you always will be alive. Maybe not in this realm, because we have the opportunity to visit other realms, and each realm has different rules. I've come what I've learned from studying these accounts. Earth is not the only realm that you can visit. However, everybody says that Earth is the hardest realm. If you're on Earth right now, folks, you are playing level 99 on Mario Brothers, okay? You are like Seriously, you are in the hardest world, the hardest game constructed for your spirit to learn, to experience. And there, so I hope that gives you a little bit of peace and comfort. Um, if not, I would say dig into this stuff, folks, because I'll tell you what, I believe true enlightenment is coming to the understanding that you chose to come to this realm and that it's an experience, it's a classroom, it's a sandbox world that allows you to interact with the quantum field, with energy, where you can directly manifest in this realm um, through your actions and your thoughts. Nothing's free in this realm, folks. There is a price to pay in this realm because it's a world of duality and the pendulum always swings both ways. And the point of this is that you experience all the angles, great joy and great despair, love and hate. You're meant to experience all of this here, folks. That's why it seems so hard. So, anyways, we'll pick back up on this tomorrow because this is a very deep subject. And honestly, I was going to tie some of this in with the whole Genesis talks I was doing. But look, where the universe tells me to go, I go each day, okay? And I'm not channeling entities. I'm not doing anything like that. However, we all are connected to the source of all creation. And if that source wants me to talk about a certain subject, then I'm going to talk about it, okay? And anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys. Just a reminder, I am doing that donation deal with Exit the Matrix, so I can get some money saved up to get a studio built in my house to go bigger with videos and to start bringing on like interviews and such. Sorry, folks. I'm starting to get some really awesome connections with people that you would actually be really amazed with my years of running Exit the Matrix and people that have contacted me over the years. And I think we could have some amazing guests and stuff here in the future. But I need to get a more of a professional setup. And so if you donate $25 to my PayPal Exit the Matrix account, you get half an hour of Zoom one-on-one with me. We can talk about anything. We can debate. We can just, theorize and whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about. And then $50 will get you an hour of my time. I'm a pretty humble person. I don't make tons of money. My family and I do okay. We have a great home. We love living in the mountains. We love living in nature. However, doing some of the stuff I want to do is going to take more funds than I have at my disposal. So the best thing I have to offer you folks, instead of trying to pitch you a product all the time like a lot of people do, my time. And time is our most valuable asset in this realm. So I'll give you my time for your help on building this platform. And anyways, folks, reach out to me the best way. You can reach out to me on YouTube. I believe there's a way you can message me there. But if you're not following me on Facebook, please go there to Exit the Matrix on Facebook. I put my links under all the videos, and message me there. That's usually where I get most of my messages. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.